All right. Good afternoon. Michael and Israel here from Bucks Island. We are back. Thanksgiving successful? No?
I ate. So,
You ate? All
and
right.
I was thankful, so I guess all worked out.
That's all we can. So
Didn't have our normal, had to get together, but
well,
we made it work.
let's I mean everything's weird in 2020. So how are you guys doing? Hope y'all had a good week last week. Let's try. Thank you, Tim. I see good audio, good video. Appreciate that. Um, Drop us a comment or question for us on the technical side of things. I got a few. Hey Shane, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope you've been fishing out of that Avid. We got the new 18XB sitting in the back lot. Kind of excited to climb through that some. Yep, don't get no better than that. That is yeah, last week was I got more stuff done than I thought I would, but also some stuff that I didn't get to. But I was okay with that. So
A lot of stuff I didn't get done, but
well,
all right, it happens.
we'll apologize, guys, that we didn't get in this morning. We had some other stuff going on, but we'll go for a little bit, see if we can answer some questions. Please. Uh-oh. No gas, huh? All right. From Shane.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me, while you guys are coming up with a question or two to ask, because what is it, 4:30? We'll go for a little bit here and see. You need light?
No, just reflecting on some
Oh,
part of my
you gotta
face.
you gotta get his good side. So sorry. All right. Let me. I found this. This is, I thought, a good question that a lot of folks, especially if you've been around boats a long time, maybe you take this for granted. But basically, do I need to be concerned about starting power on my electronics if they're already on when starting the motor? Like he specifically, this was in the Yamaha group. So probably a saltwater guy, had a VHF radio, graphs. Can they be on when you're starting the motor? That was
Typically, yeah.
Okay.
I do know that, and we've had a few issues on some of the boats that are really loaded down heavy with electronics. We've had to put like the Sea Clear power system on.
Okay.
So that there's not very much, amp loss straight to the battery. It's always going to be a pull because the starter motor, it pulls, on some engines, it can pull 250 amps. So
Okay.
I've seen them pull up to 300 amps. So if you've got, you've been fishing half a day and you've got a 4 units running live wells, that battery's reserve capacity and not been running at all, the reserve capacity is going to be really low. And,
Okay.
And the things that are in danger when you start and they shut off, or like high-end units like your Garmin's and your Solixes. Helixes don't seem to be affected by it so much because they're not as sophisticated as far as the software and computing. But the Solixes you do that very many times in a row, they'll gray screen you and it's off to the back to the repair center. So.
Well, and I don't. I think, and obviously there was kind of more to this question. I had to kind of pick the meat and potatoes out of it because I'm limited in how much text I can put in here. But he was also the opposite of a power draw. Is there any sort of surge in power that could occur when you're cranking that motor that might
typically? No, I don't think so.
All right.
The only thing that would cause any RF interference would be probably the starter, and it would have to be really close. So it's not that big a deal.
All right. Let's see here. Shane, you're already shopping around again? When's the new Falcon out with the 115? I know we just ordered 3 or 4 of the 185s. I would guess early next year. I don't know. Maybe we'll get one in by the end of the year, but we'll see. I think it's just a week or two ago that we got those orders in after they announced the boat. But definitely excited. I will say, if you follow Falcon or anything like that on social media, or you follow Brian Latimer, after he posted everything that day, he called me and definitely see that 185 coming in when it gets here. But these days,
Is it max ready for 115, or is it they're gonna put a 150 on it?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's max. No, it's max rated for 175.
Okay.
I think we ordered them all with a 150. I think that was the way we did it. But then I think it'll be, of course, most people probably won't buy it with a 115 if you could get up to 175. But it sounds like it would at least be a pretty decent performing boat wouldn't be a slug with a 115.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see when it gets in here. But yeah, Brian's statement was it's basically it's a 195 with 1 foot less boat.
That's how it works.
That's rocket science right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tim, my 250 VMAX show not have an hour meter on it. How will I know when I hit the 100 hour for service? Well, at Tim's rate, I'd say about every month and a half or so.
Well, swing by one day with your boat since you come by here anyway, and we'll check your hours for you. And that will give you an idea where you are. So, as much as he fishes pretty good, so you put more hours on there than you think. I can tell you that. But other than coming by or putting an hour meter on it, or coming by and letting us throw the little computer on there. It's kind of a guesstimation.
So what would be some options if he wanted to throw an hour meter? And I can't I think he's got helixes on his Skeeter.
Helixes, they keep telling me that there's a way to do it, but I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
I've tried various ways of doing it, and there's one way I haven't checked, but it adds another $500 port to another $500 port, and by the time you do that, you can put a nice gauge from Skeeter on there for $800.
Okay.
And
so, what's the cheapest way you get a good hour readout for you on one of those?
Really, just one of those little. Yamaha sells about a $60-$70 gauge that you put underneath the cowling, and you wrap it around a coil.
Okay.
A coil.
Coil.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then and what I do is I normally put the hour meter in a low spot, and secure it to where you can actually just barely open the cowling up and shine a light in there and see it.
Okay.
It's pretty easy.
Is that truth hours, or is that okay? Is it pulling from the engine?
No, it's reading pulse width on a coil.
So you can.
It's as long as that coil is firing, it's counting accurately. As long as it doesn't lose. I've had some when in his case, it's going to be a coilover plug, and you have to go around the whole coil, and it's harder to get a signal out of those. But if you do it just right, it works.
All right.
If it was just coil wires going through there, you can wrap it around the coil wire, and it works better with those. But
so if he brings it in with 100 hours on it, and when you throw one of those on there, is it going to read 0? And he just needs to know these. So hey, just add 100. Yeah. So obviously we can pull that. So
that's right.
You can get fancy with some of that stuff, or some simple options to throw into a cowling, maybe good enough. Or keep a logbook of every time you turn the motor on and off.
Yeah.
All right. My pontoon doesn't have drain plugs or pressure test connections. I've got some leaking through cracks in the welds. After getting the cracks fixed, would it be wise to get some drain holes and plugs put on the tunes?
Some bongs. Yes, I would. If you're already having it done, You can order whatever size you want, really, and just cut a hole and stick them in there and weld them. So, I would definitely get them at the rear bottom. Makes it a good. It's a good place for pressure testing.
Okay.
And keep in mind some of the pontoons are sectioned off. Some of them have 2 to 3 sections, and some of them don't share air between, so they're completely sealed off. A lot of them are doing it different now. They're actually cutting a hole at the bottom of the baffles so that they'll actually share. That way, the water will disperse evenly if you do get water in it, and doesn't just tilt the boat back and sideways. It seems to.
Wait, you're not supposed to do that?
Yeah.
And so the G3 with the foam filling, and I don't know what other brands might do the foam fill in the pontoons. Would that be different? I guess still. I mean, you still want to put that drain plug.
I can tell you the welding's different.
Okay.
It messes things up typically. I do a lot of welding on pontoons and skegs and stuff, and anything that's up against that metal, makes it near impossible to weld it. So.
All right. Mike Godfrey needs some heated seats in the boat with the weather like this morning.
Yeah.
Wait,
you can buy kits.
Mike, how long you gotten soft down here in Alabama? I guess. Yeah, heated seats would be.
I wouldn't even be out there myself.
Yeah,
I've got guys for that now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's some. I mean, even some of the kayak guys are still getting after it this time of year. So
that's a good time to fish.
The good news is I don't think you have to worry about wave runners if you want to go out fishing.
Wake boats, yeah. A few pontoons still getting out there.
Yeah. Nice. Yes. Hey, heated seats. I mean, if you can do it, go for it.
Yeah.
All right. If you got any more questions, drop them in there. I've got one. This is actually a question for you guys. What boat do you have, and what truck are you pulling it with? I've seen quite a few folks. I guess this time of the year, folks swap out a lot of different stuff. So I've seen some posts in some of the different groups, some new trucks, some new tow vehicles out there, and kind of got me curious.
A lot of people come in and buy their boat and then go buy their truck.
Yeah. Well, they got to match, right? You got to look good at the ramp. That's what matters, right?
Yeah, my boat doesn't match my truck.
It doesn't?
Because I don't have a boat, but I have a truck.
In your mind, it matches, right?
Invisible.
Well, that's all right.
I got a pick of the litter out there. I need to really want to go fishing. I'll find something to fish. Done it a few times. Dr. Strange. Wow.
Howdy.
Fancy seeing him here.
Howdy, Shane. Did you have a question earlier? Okay, he's answering. Okay. Sorry, the F-150 was throwing me off. I was thinking Yamaha motor.
There's an F-150 Yamaha motor.
Yeah. Yep. ZX250. Nice.
The yellow boat, I believe. I know Shane's boat.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't really have any more questions. I guess winterization, it's a bit too late.
Well, I mean, it's never. It is. It's sometimes it's too late, but it wasn't the worst freeze in the world. So, but it did freeze, and
so let's we'll take a minute. So, let's say your motor does freeze up, and you got issues. What's the next step? What are some things you can do to maybe mitigate the cost of?
Should I give them my pre-production comment? That'd be my first choice.
Get rid of it.
My first choice was take it to the auction house. They can handle that.
Yeah.
But it depends on what freeze. What I see a lot of times, more times than the engine cracking, that happens too. But I know a lot of people keep their pleasure boats on boat lifts, and they'll go out there and winterize it themselves, which is fine. But some of the engines, especially the carbureted V6s, the intake, there's no drain passages in the back of the intake, so it sits kind of at an angle. And if you had it on a trailer and you just nose the tongue down, it would drain that intake just with no problem. But the angle that those boats sit in the boathouse, it won't let it drain, and they end up cracking the intake, and then it fills the engine up full of water, and that gets milky, and you end up having to replace the intake and clean the motor up, and it can't damage it as what the engine with all that water in it. So my advice to people who have boats on boat lifts is, if you got a trailer, take it off the boat lift before you winterize it, because you'll save yourself about $2,000 worth of problems. But if you don't winterize it at all, it's typically probably $6,500, $7,500 to fix that engine.
Plus, avoid the fun of trying to move a boat off a lift without a motor.
It'll run for a little while. Yeah, it just usually people don't find out until the first nice day, and they take it out and run it for about 2 hours, and it just starts foaming, almost like a rabid dog out of the carburetor. So what you're saying is foam coming from your motor is bad. Bad news, yes.
Okay.
And do yourself a favor, spend $100 as a nice insurance policy every year and get your engine winterized.
Gotcha.
This is a lot cheaper than the alternative.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go get set up, finish up for the day, and get back to the house. Got to get rolling. Can't believe Christmas is going to be here before you know it.
Yeah.
So hope you guys, some of you got to do some fishing last week or get out and run the boat. We had a couple of nice days. Looks like we're in for some chill.
And we have gone into a little bit more strict COVID protocol here lately. So we do have the gate half closed. We're still open. What we're trying to do is limit. We're not. You don't have to stay outside the gate necessarily, but we're trying to limit one person in service at a time. And then if you need a part or something, you go in. You call parts, and they'll bring the stuff out the back of the building, and you just feed them in the back. So so we're trying to help the cause when it comes to the COVID crisis.
It's definitely the numbers.
Trying to slow it down. We're not having a lot of problems here, so we're still trucking along, but we're trying to keep it that way too.
Yep. Well, all right. Well, hopefully, for those of you that don't want to get out and get on the water when it's cold, hopefully getting out and doing some hunting or whatever else, sitting by the fire, drinking a nice warm cup of Joe. But man, it's cold up in here. So, all right, guys, we're going to try and knock out some Tech Tuesdays here, definitely for the next few weeks, figuring out what's going on with our Christmas schedule. We'll get some, obviously we'll be closed for a chunk of that. But got some, still got some good opportunities in December. I know the G3's running a rebate. We just got some new Avids in. I'm trying to get everything up to date on the website, try to get all the new inventory that we've got on order. We've ordered a few more. We've
got a few used boats in.
Yep. We've got a good. We've actually got a pretty good number of the used bass boats. I think we got a couple pontoons actually.
We even got, if you're into duck hunting, we got the boat for you.
Even if you're not, go check out the Prodigy. It's on the website. The thing's got a 40 horse. What is that? A Mud Buddy?
Mud Buddy EFI.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool little rig.
Really cool.
But and it's stout too. Yes, Shane, the loft is open for sure. Kind of the same stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to just call up first and just see where we're at. I think they're trying to do one person at a time. So, and there's not been a lot of traffic, so I think you'd be able to come in and out pretty easy.
And I do have the capability. I know a lot of folks want to touch and feel the tackle, but we've got a lot of it on the internet. Mm-hmm. I can set it up so that you can just buy it on the internet and just come
Curbside.
pick it up. Yeah, curbside type of thing. We do have that capability. Let us know if so far it seems like it's worked pretty well the way it is. So, yeah, we're all open normal Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 5, and then Saturday will be a half day, 8 to noon, up until Christmas. So we got gift cards. You're looking for a good excuse to get the wife to get you the gift, whatever. All right, we're gonna get out of here and go get ready and head back to the house.
Mhm.
So thanks so much for hanging out with us. Looking forward. Crazy that 2021 is right around the corner. We're working on a lot of plans. We got a ton of boats on order that'll be coming in the first of the year. A ton of kayaks. We're going to start getting some of that stuff in here this month. So a lot of
Projects too, because we gotta find a place to put some kayaks.
lot of projects. So it is exciting, but at the same time can get overwhelming. But thanks so much. We will talk to you guys later. We'll see you.